works out.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow night will be without LeBron James when they play at Minnesota. By the way, that's where John is. He's traveling to Minnesota as we speak. That's why Bergman's filling in. Yeah, I mean, we're allowed to now say – not we're allowed. I shouldn't say that.
We say whatever we want still, but we get fought when we say things about the Lakers.
So there are some specific things about the Lakers that I want to get into today, and one of them is the general take on LeBron James right now. The one thing I notice, what percentage of the town do you think is like on LeBron's, I don't want to say side, but on the LeBron train, and what percentage of Laker fans are off the LeBron train?
So if this was a month or two ago, I would think that it would be, like 65, 70% on the LeBron
Got off
change.
to a good start.
Right.
Yeah, there was hope.
Now, I think it's the opposite. I think it's 65, 70% off the LeBron train and 30% on.
That's like 30% of people being very fickle.
Yes, well, that's fans.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. But because we were watching LeBron kind of deteriorate in front of our eyes.
Deteriorate is a strong word.
Sure, maybe a little strong, but at the same time, he's just not playing at the level that we as fans are used to seeing him play as.
Yeah. The way I like to phrase this is, he's done this for a long time, many years, 40 years old, all that stuff, starting to show cracks in the armor.
Yeah.
The turnover numbers, the three-point shooting drought that he went through,
down,
the lack of interest in playing defense. Those are all things that I think indicate that LeBron is either gassed or his talent is degraded.
Well, JJ on yesterday said that he was gassed,
yes,
that he's exhausted, and that's kind of where it's interesting, because last year we talked about a lot of things. He played in more games than he's ever played in with the Lakers. He was shooting a career high in 3-point percentage. He was shooting very well, and then he went to the Olympics. And we had said, no matter what, you should be able to play for your team, for your country, all of those different things. But it was always, should he play in the Olympics because he's going to be tired when it gets to December? And everyone's like, no, he should. Well, it's now December, and he's tired, and he's not playing well, and he's exhausted.
So here's the quote from JJ. He said, in a game, he's asked for a sub a couple of times because he's gassed. For us, we have to be cognizant as we play more and more games, just the cumulative effect of playing a lot of minutes. And Sunday being banged up with the foot thing, it felt like a good opportunity for him to get some rest. So that was the Portland game. Now the Minnesota game tomorrow night, he is not going to play. He's sitting out that game, which means that by the time this stretch is over and he returns, he'll have about 10 days off.
Right.
He will have had about 10 days off.
They play on Sunday against Memphis at home.
So if he plays that game, that will have been 10 days off.
Right.
Which is a pretty good breather.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time to catch up and to recharge and all that stuff.
But also, am I the only one that thinks it's December? It's been 24 games, and he missed the game, so it's been 23 games that he's played on December 12th. I mean, how much time off do you need at that point? You should be fully ready to go.
Well, I mean,
fully have your legs
in
underneath
his defense,
you. He played in the
in
summer.
his defense, he's 40, and this is his 22nd season, and modulating the amount of energy you expend on a game-to-game, month-to-month basis is different.
I get it. But he always says it's not about his age, and that we should not use his age as an excuse. At least Ireland says, don't use his age as an excuse because he plays so well. He put up 38, 10, and 12, or whatever the numbers were the other night.
Right.
It doesn't matter at that point, but because he's not going back on defense and he's not using energy on defense.
Right.
You should be healthy right now.
Right. But here's the thing. Again, I didn't want him to play 82 games. That was like I'm going to play 82 games. So he's sat out a couple of games. What's the difference?
So I don't mind him
like you want him to rest because he's LeBron James, and I don't want him playing 82 games. So what does it matter that these are the 2 games that he rested?
Because this team, by how it is formed, is not good enough to go very far. And without him, it's obviously not going to go even further.
Right.
So this team needs LeBron James playing to be good. And without him, They'll win a couple games here or there. They'll beat teams like Portland.
Yeah, they beat Portland without LeBron. They'll lose to Minnesota tomorrow night without LeBron. And then LeBron comes back Sunday, and they got a chance to beat Memphis at home.
All these wins and losses still matter when you get to the end of the year.
Of course they do.
When you're in the play-in instead of the playoffs.
But you don't want him to play every game.
No.
So these are 2 days. He's taken 2 games off.
Right. So far.
And taken advantage of a long break because of the in-season tournament. It's still just 2 games that he hasn't played.
Yeah, but those wins that could possibly be there. If they lose tomorrow night in Minnesota,
and they will,
and they absolutely will. You may look back and be like, that could have been a game they could have won.
Right, but again, you don't want LeBron playing 82 games, so he's going to take. How many games do you want out of him?
I was going to say, how many games are you okay with him missing?
I would be thrilled with 65 games.
65 games,
yeah,
sure. But you also...
he's only missed 2 so far.
So which ones do you pick? Like, are you kind of like, okay, this one he should play, this one he shouldn't
I would like
play?
to. I'd like him play only one half of back-to-backs. Play either the front end or the back end. I don't want to see LeBron play both ends of a back-to-back.
Sure. I'm totally fine with that. I want him to say it's load management. He was the one that came out and said, I want to play 82 games. Yeah. I am not a guy that sits out, and if I'm healthy, I'm not going to sit out. He is now sitting out from exhaustion.
Well, he's got a foot injury.
Well, but and also JJ yesterday said he's exhausted.
He's gassed, yeah.
He's gassed.
Yeah.
Like that, those are 2 separate things. I don't mind him missing time. I think that is a smart thing for him to do.
Right.
But come out and say it.
He's not going to do that.
No, of course not.
No, as far as we know, it's a foot injury.
Right, but also this team is just not good enough in any sense to go anywhere with him or without him.
I don't disagree.
Right, so...
I don't disagree. And I don't think that some trade down the stretch is going to like.
What could you even?
They're
get?
so hamstrung in terms of the first apron and the second apron and all that stuff. They can't add money. They have to bring if they trade money, it has to be equal. I mean, all this they're so handicapped in what they can do to fix what they got now, and that's why I keep saying. LeBron, ask for a trade.
Well, should have been a rebuilding year.
I'd like LeBron to ask for a trade.
Just saying.
I'm a huge LeBron fan. I'd like to see him make a run at another ring. Golden State would be a great spot for that. We got Kuminga and Podziemski, and we've got a couple of potential rotation players that will be here for a few years. I think that all makes sense.
Yeah.
But LeBron's got to ask.
LeBron's got to ask, and the Warriors have to say, we'll give you Podziemski, who they really, really like.
Right,
we'll give you Kuminga.
Yeah.
We'll give you, it's what.
Well, you got to trade
Wiggins.
some good stuff. Yeah, Wiggins, you've got to trade just to match salaries.
But does that
He's
do
the
anything?
only big salary.
That does nothing for this year, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a rebuild.
The only thing it does for this year is you potentially have Kuminga and Podziemski who continue with this team and are building blocks for down the road.
Right. I would like something in return for him if you are going to trade him. But let's be honest, he's not going anywhere. He's not unless he asks for the trade.
I think he might ask for it.
You want him to, or you think he will?
Is it wishful thinking on my part?
I think it's wishful thinking.
I'm going to continue thinking wishfully then.
I agree with you. But also, do you trust in this front office, which we've never been able to get into?
Right.
Do you trust in this front office to be able to do the rebuild?
And we will get to that coming up. In the meantime, sports graffiti time.